Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. It is Tuesday, May 16th. In my earlier video today on Rudy Giuliani, one of the news items that I don't think I covered or glossed over briefly was that Giuliani is being accused of working with Donald Trump to basically sell pardons. The allegation by the woman who was Giuliani's former assistant was that Trump would basically charge $2 million for a pardon. And Giuliani would bring that pardon to him. Now, they would not go through the normal channels because that would require a pardon oversight board and there would be Freedom of Information Act implications. So this was all done under the table, hush hush. Once the pardon was issued, Trump and Giuliani would split the money. They'd each get $1 million. So I went ahead and went to Wikipedia to see who did Donald Trump pardon starting in November of 2020. And it's a veritable who's who's list. I'm going to put on my glasses so I can read a little easier. So, Michael Flynn, Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, George Papadopoulis, and Alex Van Der Schwaan. These were all people that were implicated in the Russia scandal. Additionally, Steve Bannon, Paul Erickson, who was Steve Bannon, we all know who he is. Paul Erickson, he was, I believe, from Wisconsin. He was involved with Maria Butina. Remember that little Russian spy that was ostensibly like working for the NRA and trying to bring the NRA to Russia? Yeah, no. So there's Russia again. And then Elliot Brody, who was implicated in all sorts of crimes and fundraising crimes. And he's as guilty as they get. Now, that's just that part. Of interest are some other pardons. There's somebody named Christopher Wade. Hadn't heard before, but he was convicted of cyber crimes, and those crimes are under seal. We don't know what the charges were. We don't know what he was convicted of, and it was recent, like in 2018, 2019. Relation to Trump? Who knows? Charles Kushner, that's Jared's dad. Michael Milken, he might be a billionaire, but extremely wealthy person. Nothing like having somebody in your back pocket who's got lots of money and maybe owes you a favor. Now, I think Milken was already out of jail at that point, but he got pardoned. Tommaso Butti, he was a Trump partner. He was a restaurateur, and he was a co-partner in the Trump Management Modeling Agency. Yeah, Trump Modeling Agency. There are no shenanigans going on there by the sexual assaulting president, right? Ex-president. Kenneth Kurson, he was an ally of Rudy Giuliani and the former editor of the New York Observer, who was a Trump ally and an ally to the Trump family. And then we have Aviam Sella. This was an Israeli Air Force officer and Mossad operative that was handling a U.S. spy that was selling secrets to Israel. And he fled the country before he could be caught. Now, the wife of Sheldon Adelson, who's a conservative mega donor, asked the Israeli government to ask Trump to have this guy pardoned. Okay? And then, the list goes on. It's just an incredible list of people that have been asked for and granted pardon. I didn't even get into all the GOP representatives that had been convicted of crimes, and they got let go. I mean, every third person, every fourth person, just in the December 2020, his last set of pardons was some GOP operative or another. For the party of law and order, they sure are committing a lot of crimes. Just saying. Now, Trump has the right, as the president at the time, to pardon people. You don't have the right to sell those pardons. Now, here's the good part. Here's the good news on this one. If you sell a pardon, that's an illegitimate pardon. That pardon can be overturned. So, for those of us who wanted Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Michael Flynn, and Steve Bannon, and these guys to actually serve some prison time, they might actually have to serve some prison time if it can be shown that they paid for pardons or they were given pardons illegally. In other words, you can't pardon somebody to help cover up a crime. So maybe justice will be coming for these guys after all. Maybe some of these pardons will get overturned. Maybe there'll be some justice for us. Okay, so I want to throw cards on this overall situation with the pardons. What can you tell me about the pardons? Now, in my Rudy Giuliani reading, I had the Ace of Pentacles come up, and in retrospect, had I been thinking about the pardons, I might have said, you know, there's a whole lot of that going on there too. That's going to be fool's gold. And speaking of fool's gold, I on my desk, I had a picture of it. I've got a nice little iron pyrite tower, and I've also got this one quartz that's got fluorite and calcite in it that also has iron pyrite on it. That second piece is really cool because it's UV reactive and will glow orange and purple under a UV light. Let's see if I can find my light real quick. Hang on. Okay, we're back. So here's that crystal again, and I'll go ahead and shine a UV light on it, and you can see that purple on it. It's a cool piece. I really like it. As you can see in my cabinet back over here, I have a number of crystals, and that whole top shelf is filled with UV reactive ones. Lots of fun in my house. Your own personal raid. Anyway, so Spirit, if you would guide me here and give me a nice honest reading on this one. What's the 411 on this allegation of paying for pardons? How is this going to pan out? What information can you share with us that I can share with my viewers for entertainment purposes only? 7 minutes into the video. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Wands. This is, I'm upside down here. Okay. Nine of Wands. Somebody's going to be very tired. There's a lot. I think basically there's a lot of work ahead that's going to be going into this and digging into this allegation, because now you have to find out which pardons were legitimate and which ones weren't. Crossing that, there's your Four of Cups. This is the pardons being offered. And you have to, people asking for pardons, and if you don't pay, you don't get one. So I think there's a lot here involving those pardons. That's my take on it. And again, underneath the underneath energy of all this is the Star card. This is, in some ways, she's going to be the star witness. Or if she's got emails, apparently, let me back up. Apparently, there's no recording of Giuliani offering pardons for sale, but Lev Parnas apparently was present for this conversation, so she could have a corroborating witness. But basically, this is this is going to be a card. This is going to be big. This is going to be good for. This is going to be hopes and dreams fulfilled, because I think justice is finally going to come. In the past, we've got the celebration, the women celebrating card. Okay, so this is. Again, this could be, selling for pardons. Oh, you pardon. Let's toast. Leave $2 million in that briefcase on the floor over there. That's going on. They were getting their cake and eating it too, and just grifting the system better than anybody else in the world. And they were getting away with it, right? Getting away with it. When's the last time you heard the Justice Department was investigating pardons for sale? And now, God, these cards are coming up. These are the same cards that were coming up for her reading with him. Okay, so current situation is the Six of Coins. Again, you messed around with that one woman thinking you were having a good time, and now the bill's coming and you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay big time. Now, these are also, here's people coming for the pardons and, begging for the pardons. And if you've got the money, you're going to get the pardon. Otherwise, you had to have somebody in Trump's ear who was doing that. But I think also this is going to be something that Giuliani is probably going to offer up to the government in order to save his bacon from his part of that. And they're going to make him pay back the money. He's going to be destitute when this is done. I will not be surprised if I see the Five of Coins pop up in this video. Okay, overarching energy, the Empress. Now, that's an interesting card. This could be, taking care of people, this is taking care of people, taking care of the wealthy, making sure that the wealthy people are nice and comfortable, but it's also a card for Mother Russia. And on that list I read off, the first 6 names I was reading off there were all linked to Russia. So some of these pardons have to do with the Russia investigation. Others are taking care of very wealthy people so that their names can be cleared. Lesson to be learned, Page of Cups. They were doing things that were not on the up and up. They were screwy. They were avoiding the normal processes on this. And they're going to get caught. That was not the way to do it. And unfortunately, they messed with the wrong person, and that person whistle blew on them, and they're toast. Outcome, sorrow. Yeah, we may not get all the pardons overturned, but a lot of them are going to be overturned. There's going to be a lot of really, really unhappy people out of this situation. Because, again, the star card's there. All right. Now, Russia. All right. Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, George Papadopoulos, Michael Flynn, Elliot Brody, Scott Erickson, all these guys, Steve Bannon, all these guys that have ties and links to Russia with the Russian interference, the whole Robert Mueller investigation. Are they going to have their pardons overturned? Will the majority of these people have their pardons overturned and be required to serve some prison time? Well, maybe we shouldn't go that far. Let's just find, will they have their pardons overturned? That's really what we want to know, right? I mean, if they get prison time or they get retried, that's out of my hands at this point. Let's keep it simple. Will they have their pardons overturned, generally speaking? Okay, you want to stay on top. Here we go. That'll be a 4-carder. They're going to be up nights worrying about that. And they should be worried. Damn traitors to this country. Sorrow card. Most of them are going to be, I'm saying right now, most of them are going to have their pardons overturned. Maybe not all of them. They might let like Papadopoulos go because, he was just a coffee boy. but Manafort, These other guys, we're at a crossroads here. Decisions need to be made. Right, because you might have to flip. You might want to turn state's evidence so that you can keep your pardon. And you want to hold on to what you got. And then underneath it is the hermit. Okay, yeah, because the truth is going to be exposed. So, sum up the reading. It's a nightmare. Self-inflicted nightmare. These guys did that to themselves. And the truth is being revealed. The government's going to come looking. Now they need to make a decision. What are they going to do? Are they going to flee? Are they going to turn state's evidence? What are they going to do with this one? Because on the one hand, they could have their pardon turned over. And on the other hand, they might want to keep their freedom. So they have to balance. What are they going to do? Do you take a risk? Or do you fight to keep what you got? Yeah, definitely. My answer to that is definitely. That is going to happen. And I, for one, am excited about that. Will Trump, last question. Will Trump and or Giuliani, well, okay. Will Giuliani flip? How about that one? Or maybe a better question, a 6-carder. What's Giuliani going to do? Now that this information is out, is he going to flip? Is he going to deny it? Is he going to die? What's Giuliani going to do with, now that this information's out, that he was paying for play? He's got this case against this girl, and had he just paid her, maybe he doesn't have the money to pay her, but had he just paid her, this wouldn't be out there, but he didn't. So now he's going to be paying her all right. He wants to stay on top. Okay. What's going to happen with Giuliani? Should have paid her. He might be coming forward with an offer of information or something like that. Judgment's coming. So actually, I think this is more that woman that came looking for that money is going to have her day in court. Judgment's coming for Giuliani. And he can't get out of this one. He just can't get out of this one. My previous reading, it showed he was done. So what's he going to do on this one? Flip, 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 flip. Tried to get away with not paying her. Made his life miserable. He's going to flip. But it's also showing flipping in the past, too. Interesting. So maybe he's trying to get ahead of this. Oh, you know what? This is probably, by the time this actually comes to court, that the case is actually being heard in trial's date, he's flipped at that point. I think that's what this is showing here. It might also be that he settles. He could very well be settling, which then he's now flipped. So we might be further along than I thought on the timeline. Oh, there we go again. God, all the same cards are coming up. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles. Here we go. Fool's gold. Fool's gold. Yeah, this is here's the big money coming in. Here's the bribes. Here we go. So far I've got 3 money cards here. Page of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. He was collecting money. Then came the big money. Big money, which also probably means big reveal. He has to talk about the big money that's on there because the secrets are being revealed. He's blabbing. He will turn and he will blab and he will do everything he can to save his bacon. What's the lesson the other? Because the secrets came out. He can't deny it. It's just the secrets are out, and you know what? If you're going to blab, you're going to blab about everything. They want everything from this guy. They don't care what it is. Spill the tea. Outcome, Ace of Cups. There's going to be a lot of angry people with this one. And Giuliani's probably going to be a sodden mess. Now, he's an alcoholic, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. But, this is probably, the alcohol made me do it. It wasn't in my right mind. But basically, he's got that addiction in there, and he's got problems. He's got all sorts of problems. And again, he needs to decide what he's doing. So, right around the time the trial has come and gone, that whole time he had to make a decision what he was going to do and how much he was going to give. I think he's going to flip. Honestly, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to ask, how is this going to impact Donald Trump? How will this, assuming Giuliani flips here, like my cards are suggesting, how will this impact Donald Trump? I mean, if your own lawyer is saying that, it's like Michael Flynn. This is the Michael Cohen thing all over again, That witness one or suspect one, whatever. I forget what Trump was called on that one. Person of interest one. Yeah, your lawyer is basically saying, yeah, we were selling pardons for $2 million and we split it 50-50. What are you going to say? No. Giuliani can't pardon people. Good God, he's such a low wattage bulb. Trump is, my God, and he gets away with all this stuff. Why? All right, this card wants to stay on top. I tried to overhand shuffling this one. This one just refused to go down in 2 tries, which means it is what it is. What's the situation? How is this going to play out for Trump? He is a victim. He's stuck. Can't get out. He knows he's caught. He knows he's roped on this one. He can't think of a lie fast enough, much less a believable lie, much less anything that's plausible deniability. He's caught on this one. Just like Giuliani. He is caught on this one because Giuliani spills all the tea. And there's no attorney-client privilege when it's a conspiracy. Darn it. For entertainment purposes only. Justice is coming, Donald. It's going to take your crown, and you're going down. Not like Giuliani's assistant, but you're just going to be going down. Ew. Ew. I'm sorry. Ew. Okay, in the past, Donald's thinking about leaving. He should have left. I have to throw on that one. I have to find out if Donald's going to run. Okay, this stuff. When this information comes out, he's thinking, "Oh, poopy! I need to go." Expect that he's making plans. And here he is, the King of Pentacles himself. Current situation. Okay, so he's thinking about himself. He's thinking about his wealth. He's thinking about the position he's in and what he's going to do to try and avoid this trap that he's in. Huge burden on him. Huge burden because he knows he can't deny it. All the paper, there's going to be evidence there that is going to be irrefutable. Not to mention, well, some of the people that got the pardons, yeah, you know what they'll do? They'll flip them. They'll take some of those guys and say, yeah, we'll let you keep your pardon, but you got to tell us what went on. I don't know how this would work out. Because it's an illegal pardon. You can't buy a pardon, but maybe they'll grant him some immunity or something like that. But yeah, they'll be able to get people to testify. So Trump knows he's in trouble. There's no defense for this. You can't say it's a conspiracy. You can't say that other presidents did that. Well, he will say other presidents did this, but he's just so blatant about it. And there's the sorrow card. He's gonna get caught, and it's gonna hurt. And it's going to hurt a lot of people that he pardoned. Outcome, money. It was raining money. All the money that came raining in is going to be exposed. And there will probably be fines to go along with that. Underneath it, he's going to try and find a place to fight this from higher ground. So, what do we got? Summing up. He feels trapped because justice is coming, but in true Trumpian fashion, he's going to fight it. He's going to fight it. He's going to do it the way he knows best, which is to delay everything, right? Delay. But he's thinking about calling in some favors, probably with some of those pardons that he did, because he's the King of Pentacles. So people owe him favors because this is a bad situation. He can't deal with it. And there's a lot of disappointment that's going to come up for him and the people he pardoned. And he's worried about the money that he collected and the money it's going to cost him in his legacy. Okay, so there you have it. That's my reading on Rudy and Trump and paying for pardons and all that stuff. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my subscribers for supporting me. Thank you for leaving comments. This one's not quite as racy as the one this morning, but it's still really interesting just because, it looks like just another crack in the dam that's holding back justice. And hopefully we get some justice on this one and some wrongdoers who got illegally pardoned just because they're wealthy and could come up with a couple $1,000,000 get put right back in prison where they belong. All right, so yay, team justice on this one. Have a great night, and I'll catch you on the next reading. Take care.